Welcome to Championship Wrestling 84. I'm Gordon Soley, your host, and, well, what we saw was strange indeed. They've been named by all of you as the Creep Show, and I guess that's not a bad name for that particular group of people. With me today, Barbara Clary and Buddy Colt. Let me turn first to Barbara Clary because I understand that you're trying to find out and settle a mystery.
That's right. We're going to be seeing not only a new tag team, but hopefully we're going to be finding out who One Man Gang's mystery partner is going to be for the Lakeland match.
Okay, and that is upcoming a little bit later on in the program. Buddy, there's some great wrestling tonight in Sarasota at Robarts Arena.
That's right. So make sure you get there because there will be some great wrestling talent there. There'll be a lot of great wrestlers. Also on the program today, on the main events today, there will be a tag team match with Kevin Sullivan and Superstar Graham. There's going to be a host of other new wrestlers that you haven't seen. Jesse Barr, Tess Wally has been here before, a great amateur wrestling champion, also a great professional champion.
And a fellow that I'm really looking forward to seeing in action, Jim Neidhart, formerly with the Dallas Cowboys and the Oakland Raiders. He was out there with the great John Matuzak and Otis Sistrunk and others, and a fellow with a little bit of a crazy side to him.
That's right. Another man that I'm quite impressed with his credentials is another wrestler you'll be seeing, shortly named Jesse Barr.
Exactly. There's a fellow who, but for the boycott in 1980, would have been an Olympic gold medal winner, I'm sure. The Texas Outlaw set to go against John King, but this fellow getting into the ring is not the Texas Outlaw. I'd know him anywhere, Colonel Buck Robley. And so, it's Robley getting set to move out against John King. It's our opening match, one fall, a 10-minute time limit. There's the bell. And Robley only knows one direction, and that's forward.
Well, I have known Buck Robley for many years. In fact, when I first came here to Florida to wrestle about 12 years ago, Buck Robley was wrestling here extensively at that time. In fact, I even had him a few times as a tag team partner. So I can attest to the ability of Buck Robley. He is out there to win and win at any means.
Texas Outlaw where he has a lie. He's after one thing and he's after one thing only. I got a lot of things on my mind and I got a lot of people that I got to take care of. One person that I really want to get my hands on is Barry Windham, and I don't want to know what Barry Windham is.
Well, he's been injured and right now he's not competing.
What do you mean Barry Windham has been injured? What do you mean he's scared? Windham, you knew. Somebody, and I'm not going to tell you who that somebody is, but that somebody is after you like flies on a garbage can. Now right there in the ring where you got is somebody that's a very close friend of the Texas Outlaw. The nasty man, Buck Robley himself. The Charles Manson of professional wrestling. Look at that. All I want to know is you find Windham for me and you tell him that the Texas Outlaw is looking for him.
Well, fair enough. The comments from the Texas Outlaw. And King Pot Robley gets the sleeper on John King. And he's checking now. Down across that carotid artery, and he's got the full weight of his body down there as well as that forearm. And King is out. King is out. The winner of the match, it'll be his responsibility to revive John King. But the winner of this first match here today on Championship Wrestling 84 is indeed Buck Robley. Well, the oldest and largest sanctioning body of professional wrestling the world over, the NWA, brings you wrestling this coming Wednesday night in Miami at the Miami Beach Convention Center, the home of professional wrestling in Miami Beach. I might point out it's going to be a star-studded night indeed. Superstar Billy Graham and Kevin Sullivan take on Billy Jack and Mike Graham. It'll be the Florida champion Scott McGee against the Saint. Pistol Pez Watley and Bugsy McGraw return to face the Dream in the Texas Outlaw. The one-man gang goes up against Jim Neidhart. Larry Hamilton, Florida state champion, takes on Buck Robley. The Hollywood Blondes go up against Joe Lightfoot and Jesse Barr, the Olympian. And it'll be Mike Allen against John King. A tremendous night of wrestling competition. Sir Oliver Humperdinck is with me right now with the Saint. who is a challenger for the Florida Heavyweight Championship.
Let me just say this, the #1 challenger for the most prestigious belt in professional wrestling today, outside of the World Heavyweight Championship belt.
Todo el mundo sabe, todos los cubanos, todo el mundo, tú sabes que Scott McGee es campeón de Florida. Cuando te meten en el ring conmigo en Miami, quiero que todos los cubanos, todos los puertorriqueños, todos los latinos saben que el santo de Bolivia va a salir en Miami, el campeón de Florida nuevo, y le voy a enseñar a todo el mundo que voy a hacer bastante dinero con Sullivan Humperdinck, y lo voy a hacer poder, y voy a salir con el campeón de Florida, Scott McGee. Tú vas a acabar de luchar en Miami el miércoles, se va a acabar todo.
First of all, I've been doing some research, Scott. To my knowledge, you're the first Scotsman ever to hold the Florida Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Gordon, I guess that's true. I am from Scotland, and it's just a great pleasure for me, regardless of where I'm from. It's just an honor to be the Florida Heavyweight Champion, but especially being from Scotland. And I like to think now that Florida is my home.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're mighty proud to have you here in Florida. And I know, Scott, we've talked about this before, but when you first began in the amateur ranks, they didn't have, it was not a school function, was it? It was a club function, right?
Yes, sir. Every night I used to come home from work. I used to cycle 15 miles to work, 15 miles back. I get home at 6 o'clock. I'd have myself a glass of milk, a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and go straight to the gym and spend my time on the mat, trying to perform perfection the skills that have led me to winning this Florida Heavyweight Championship belt.
All right, now then, you're saying you come home from work, because in Scotland you leave school a lot earlier than you do here in the United States.
Yes, sir. I was 16 years old. I was working 40 hours a week on construction. At the time, it was, looking back now, I realized it did me a lot of good. I also at the same time, I tried to further my education too by going to school too. So I was working full time. I was cycling to work. I was going to school, and at the same time, I was also trying to make a name for myself in amateur wrestling.
Which you did.
Actually, yes, I sure did.
All right, not only did he make a name for himself in amateur wrestling, but of course, since turning professional, this young fella has held some of the greatest victories in the world. We're going to take a look at one of them right now when he pinned the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And beautiful back suplex in a high bridge. And you've really gotten that down pat. Now then, one of the quickest victories in the history of wrestling was right here when you took on Cowboy Ron Bass. Bass couldn't believe it that it actually happened, and challenged you to a rematch. This is it. And things are looking a little bit better for Bass at this particular point in time. What was going through your mind right then, Scott?
There was just one thing on my mind, Gordon. How could I beat this man that weighs 280 pounds, one of the greatest athletes in the world? There's 1,000 things going through it. And I'd like to say thanks to all of my friends that helped me, that showed me that particular movement right there. That's what just pulled it up for me. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody that ever helped me. And I really appreciate it. And I'm just really glad I'm around, and I'm glad to be your champion.
Well, obviously, Scott, we're all very proud of you, too, and continued success. And I hope one of these days in the near future, I'll refer to you as Scott McGee, World Heavyweight Champion.
Thank you very much, Scott. It's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Scott McGee, an outstanding young athlete with a great future in front of him. Now we've got a great matchup coming. Let's go to the ring. Billy Jack moving against Wild Bill Snyder, and it's Wild Bill Snyder in a ripping attack, but Billy Jack suddenly stopped him short.
Well, it looks like Wild Bill Snyder felt the best way to have any kind of a match against Billy Jack is just go straight into him, and he attacked him from behind. I think he made a mistake. Billy Jack, you get this man off guard. He's just so big and so powerful. There's that full Nelson. Nobody gets out of that full Nelson.
He's got the full Nelson. He has the full Nelson. And full. Billy Jack just went right ahead and demolished his man. And so it is all over. We'll be back in just a moment.
The one-man gang is joining me at the desk, and I'll get to him in a minute. But first, I'd like to tell you about a new tag team that's coming to town, the Rock and Roll Express. The first time you'll get to see them is on the 1st of September in the Lakeland Civic Center. Let's take a look at them right now. Night in Lakeland. Not only will you be able to see the Rock and Roll Express, but there will be a barroom brawl, a match for the Florida title, and the match that everybody has been asking about. The one-man gang and a mystery partner against Sir Oliver Humperdinck and the Saint. And I believe you've come here to tell us who the mystery partner is.
You know, Miss Cleary, I've had this contract in a safe place, and I went out in my backyard last night after I got in, and I dug it up out of the backyard. It's been tucked away. Everywhere I go, people ask me. If I go out to the mall, I go to the grocery store, I went to the theater the other day, and the guy fixing the popcorn asked me, he said, who's your mystery partner in Lakeland on September the 1st? Well, I came here today with the contract with Humperdinck's chicken scratch on this thing, and I'm going to tell everybody right today on Florida Championship Wrestling who my mystery partner is, so there won't be no more mystery about it. Everybody has been bugging me about the mystery partner. I'm going to tell them today, but first, I would like to get Sir Oliver Humperdinck out here, and I would like to see his reaction on his face when they show my mystery partner today. Is this possible, Miss Claire? I'd like to get Humperdinck out here.
Well, I know he's watching on the monitors. Are you going to start trouble, or you really just want to see him?
Well, I promise there will be no confrontation right here. There will be no trouble. I just want to see the man out here. I want to see his reaction when they show my mystery partner in Lakeland on September the 1st. That's all I want, is him out here to watch the videotape.
Okay, then, Sir Oliver Humperdinck, if you are
Where you at, Humperdinck? Come out here.
Here he comes.
Where you at? That's all I want. I want the man out here to watch this. I don't want no trouble.
First of all, I'm prepared. I brought the checkbook with me today. I'm prepared. Let me buy that contract any place you want to name.
You gotta be kidding, man. This thing's been buried in my backyard for 2 months.
Any place you want, I'll pay it.
You don't have enough money to buy this contract, brother.
All right, the moment of truth is here. Who is the mystery partner?
Just tell them to show the VTR right now. And I want to show Humperdinck and everybody's been bugging me who my mystery partner is. Let the fire get higher. This contract, all I got to say is me and Crazy Bug just see you on the stage. Bugsy McGraw, I can't believe it! Wait a minute! Bugsy McGraw's a certified nut! He's crazy! He's nuts! He's gonna hurt me! I know he's gonna hurt me! Let me tell you one thing! One-man gang and Bugsy McGraw! I'm gonna call my lawyer this afternoon, Saul Leibowitz! And I'm gonna get this thing injunction. I'm gonna get it stopped. It's never gonna take place. Bugsy McGraw and the one-man gang. I can't take it by my own.
No matter what happens with the attorney Paul Leibowitz, I have a feeling that all of the Humperdinks is in for time. That's our take 5 for this week.
As you know, of course, Billy Jack has an unending interest in his fellow man. And more particularly of late, he has become intensely interested in the missing children's program around the United States. Last week, we had the privilege of watching Billy Jack with his little friend Nicole. And they're going to join us again this week as we again bring you our missing children's bulletin. Let's go to the ring and Billy Jack.
That was beautiful, sweetheart. You know, little Nicole and I here, we want to talk to you again about the missing children here in Florida. And the epidemic now has growing like wildfire. It doesn't discriminate whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, whether you're white, purple, or pink. It doesn't make any difference. And with my heart and a little Nicole's heart here, we want to ask you all again this week to pull together as a team and bring these missing children back in their homes where they belong.
Please help the missing children. Every time I see a missing children commercial, I get tears in my eyes.
We have 2 teenagers on our missing children's bulletin for this week. The first is Angela Clementine Powell, also known as Angie. Angela is a 14-year-old girl. She's date of birth was October 22nd, 1969. She is 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighs approximately 95 pounds. She has short, straight blonde hair and green eyes. Her complexion is fair. Angela was last seen June 30th, 1984 in Auburndale, Florida. She may be and was last seen in the company of Steve Matheson. Anyone having any information regarding Angela, please contact the Missing Children's Clearinghouse at 1-800-342-0821. That's 1-800-342-0821. Our second missing juvenile is Graham Rodney Clark. Graham's a 13-year-old white male. He is 4 feet 11, weighs 100 pounds. He was last seen January 6th, 1982 in Sunrise, Florida. He was in the company of his non-custodial father, Howard Clark, a 59-year-old man. They may be in Arkansas. Again, anyone having any information on these missing juveniles, please contact the Missing Children's Information Clearinghouse at 1-800-342-0821.
I bet you thought I was nearly written.
Perfect thing, sweetheart.
Well, our thanks to Nicole and to Billy Jack. And by the way, anybody in Polk County who may have seen Angie, please contact. You may contact the Polk County Sheriff's Department as well as the Missing Children's Department. We have an exciting matchup coming. Let's go to it at this time. Crystal has Watley moving out against the Dream. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit.
You know, Gordon, this pistol test, Watley has quite a set of credentials. He is a graduate of Notre Dame High School in Chattanooga, Tennessee, also a graduate of the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, 3-time Tennessee State Wrestling Champion, 220-pound powerlifting champion, and since turning professional, which has been 9 years now, he's really been making a name for himself throughout the country.
He is indeed. He's one of the most electrifying competitors you'll find. He just had the Dream outside the ring, just helped him back in. And the Dream, backing away, has got his problems. There's Watley. Letting fly. Watley, good high waist lift takedown, a good ride. Trying to post that near arm, and the Dream trying to escape. A lateral press, but the Dream does start to get away. Dream back to his feet.
The Dream, of course, being very cautious right now. The Dream has somehow fallen prey to the strange powers of Kevin Sullivan, the man that I feel is clinically insane. He's locking up there with Pez Watley, being very cautious. Looks like a big flying backdrop. And down goes the Dream on his back. Knocks a lot of the wind out of you. Looks like Pistol Pez is just waiting for him to come back to his feet, giving him every chance in the world. Down for a cover, and the Dream able to get his foot on the ropes for an easy way out.
That forces the break, all right, and the Dream fires with a midsection. The Dream rips across the eyes of Pistol Pez Watley. And Watley may have some problems here. Reversal, and he caught him. Beautiful power slam. Beautifully executed power slam by Pistol Pez Watley. Caught him from the cross body block. And really drilled him. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Pistol Pez Watley attacked by a whole group of people here. Shotgun Willie, Wild Bill Snyder. And wait a minute, here comes Kevin Sullivan, Superstar Graham. And Pistol Pez Watley's got some... There's Mike Graham entering the scene. Mike Graham and Pistol Pez Watley. Kevin Sullivan, Superstar Graham, Sir Oliver Humperdinck leave the scene. But Mike Graham and Pistol Pez Watley are ready to take on the world, that's for sure. We'll be right back. The eyes of the wrestling world will be centered on the Miami Beach Convention Center this coming Wednesday night, when tremendous wrestling action will take place at the Convention Center. Superstar Billy Graham and Kevin Sullivan go up against Billy Jack and Mike Graham in the main event. The Florida heavyweight champion in the co-main event, Scott McGee, defends his title against the Saint. Pistol Pez Watley and Bugsy McGraw face the Dream and the Texas Outlaw. It'll be the one-man gang against Jim Neidhart. Larry Hamilton takes on Buck Robley. The Hollywood Blondes face Chief Joe Lightfoot and Jesse Barr, the Olympian. And it'll be Mike Allen against John King. All of this action will take place Wednesday night, Miami Beach, at the Miami Beach Convention Center. I want to take a moment right now to talk to Pistol Pez Watley. You and Bugsy McGraw, that should be quite a tag team
Well,
combo.
you know, me and Bugsy, we got us a certain kind of chemistry going on together, and we just love it together. I know all them fans out there, they be hooping and hollering. They want to see some action, and there you go. He the man, let's go give it some hope. Yeah, we going to take care of in a minute.
It's mine. I know you.
I've seen a couple of them.
I knew. I'm telling you, when it comes down to the Dream, I know the Dream, and this is not
He's
the
so
Dream.
mad.
This man must be possessed. I'm going to hit him so hard, I'm going to put that possession on the other side of his cheek. Miami, I love you.
Gonna make his ex that a fire down on his head. Yeah.
It's all going to happen this coming Wednesday night, a great night of wrestling action. Well, there's another side to the coin. We're going to hear from it right now.
Back on the beach, Miami Beach, Collins Avenue, Wolfies, get ready. Championship Wrestling coming back to the beach. One of the matches, Florida title match, Scott McGee, you've got what we want, and I'm sending the Saint down there to bring it back. Saint, comprende Florida title. Campeón de Florida, Scott McGee, cuando te metes en el ring conmigo miércoles, bajo en un campeón nuevo y vas en el santo. Mire para estos hombres aquí, lo que tiene aquí. That's exactly right. And the tag team match of the century, Kevin Sullivan and Superstar Billy Graham against Billy Jack and Michael Graham.
First of all, Michael Graham, you are one man that I know better than anybody else. The problem that you have is your partner has a skeleton in his closet. Billy Jack, you talk about being friends with all the people. You talk about being such a nice guy, Billy Jack. You talk about you want to help people. Billy Jack, what happened in Portland, Oregon about 2.5 years ago? Exaggeration, brother!
Everybody's happy about Bugsy McGraw being back. Well, I ain't too, please.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a moment to talk to Billy Jack, because he and Mike Graham take on the superstar Billy Graham and this rather vociferous Kevin Sullivan.
You know, I always try to be humble in my interviews, Gordon, and put the people over in Florida, which I'm going to do now. People in Florida, I love you. But I'm going to say this much about Kevin Sullivan and Billy Graham, especially speaking to you, Kevin Sullivan. You know, when I first came here, the ordeal with Dusty Rhodes, when you threw the ink in Dusty Rhodes' sister's face, from that day till now, I've seen a lot of things happen with you, man, and I think you better either have a brain transplant, or you've done OD'd and beetle nuts, or you're out in left field, it's a bunt. When I get in the ring with you on several occasions, you purposely, several times tried to, put me out permanently in professional wrestling, so I've kind of, put in my repertoire what I'm going to do to you when I get you in the ring. And I can't really sit down and explain it to you all. But Gordon, and I'm sure the gang, he's been there several times with Sullivan and Billy Graham. I'm going to let my wrestling speak for myself. But sooner or later, your tour here in Florida is going to come to an end, because I know I'm getting sick and tired of it. I know the people in Florida are getting sick and tired of it. That's all there is to it, man.
Gang, you're taking on the former Oakland Raider, Jim Neidhart.
I don't care about former anything. Jim Neidhart, they call him the Anvil. I'm not an anvil. I'm a human being, and this is 10 foot of steel chain. So anything you want to try with me, I love to fight Neidhart. And I come to Miami Beach for one thing. I don't want a wrestling match because I know nothing of wrestling. It's going to be a fight from the opening bell, Neidhart. You're new in this area. I've been here going on 10 months now, and I plan on staying 10 more months. You're not making a stepping stone out of me in Miami Beach. Be there, Neidhart. I'm ready.
All right, it's all coming down this coming Wednesday night. Miami Beach Convention Center. You'll see all of your favorite stars in action at the Convention Center. Match time is 8 p.m. Remember, Miami Beach, Wednesday night, 8 p.m.
Okay, we have another match coming in the ring right now. There is Jim Neidhart, a new man to Florida. The referee just coming into the ring.
Jim Neidhart, of course, out of UCLA, went to the Dallas Cowboys, then went on to the Oakland Raiders. He was the one I was telling you about, but he played with Big John Matuzak. He was Otis Distrunk. He has an impressive background, and just a little bit on the wild side to boot. He's a fellow that we're really going to have to watch out for.
This is the first opportunity that I've had to see Jim Neidhart in action. I can just kind of go by his past credentials, which are quite impressive. Looks like he's very easily, is a very powerful man, just from looking at his body and physique.
Yeah, he was 5th in the world in the shot put, by the way, in Montreal during the Olympics. He's some kind of impressive.
Well, right now it seems like Shotgun Willie has him in a side headlock, and he has been unable to get out of it so far. But very early in the match, well, it looks like Shotgun Willie could knock him off his feet. This shows the size and power of this man.
Neidhart caught with a drop kick, but it didn't take him out. Ooh, brother. He delivered that forearm, and another one that I'm not sure whether the fist is connecting first to the forearm, but he is just manhandling him now.
All right, the tables can turn in professional wrestling so easy. Just one mistake, it could be all over. Shotgun Willie made a bad mistake. In fact, a very foolish mistake. And now Shotgun Willie seems to be helpless at the hands of Jim Neidhart.
Neidhart now, and as you can see, there's that little sort of demonic streak in him, if you will.
It's kind of another name for Jim Neidhart. It's sometimes known as Jim the Animal Neidhart, which apparently must be from his style of wrestling.
Well, he is now beginning to systematically demolish Shotgun Willie. Body slam in the center of the ring. Willie comes to the midsection. Willie tried to explode on him, and Neidhart short-circuited that one in a hurry. Shotgun Willie's got more troubles than he can handle.
Well, it's quite obvious just watching Jim Neidhart so far that he's in there to win at any and all costs. And looks like he's obviously also trying to punish and hurt his opponent more so than just win the match.
Well, it's his first appearance here on Championship Wrestling 84, and Shotgun Willie exploded on him.
Well, Shotgun Willie not being able to function very well against Jim Neidhart. It looks like the first appearance of Jim Neidhart is quite impressive. He's getting across the message that he wants to get across, being very ruthless in his attacks on Shotgun Willie. Shotgun Willie coming back on him quite strongly, but having very little effect.
Neidhart connects. And that, I don't think there was any mistaking. That was not a forearm. That was a fist. Forearm that time, and Shotgun Willie has got to be hurting everywhere. Nothing fancy about Jim Neidhart.
No, there has been very little wrestling, very few holds, just sheer brute strength, a lot of forearms, fist to the midsection. Jim Neidhart is just ruthless and wild, and here once again, here's Shotgun Willie throwing the very best he has to offer, and it still doesn't seem like it's having too much effect on Jim Neidhart.
Ooh, brother. Talk about getting somebody's attention. He got it just then. Little body slam by Neidhart. Shoulder block by Neidhart. Shotgun Willie coming up very slowly. Another shoulder block. Backbreaker. Down and out for Shotgun Willie. Jim Neidhart making an impressive debut here on Championship Wrestling 84. And he is unquestionably the victor. Championship Wrestling will be held and does return to Miami Beach and the Miami Beach Convention Center this coming Wednesday night. Match time is 8 p.m. Now, here's the lovely Barbara Clary.
Miércoles, el 29 de agosto, a las 8 de la noche, en el Centro de Convenciones en Miami Beach, la lucha libre de campeones presentará para el título de Florida Scott McGee contra el Santo y 6 luchas más. Miércoles, el 29 de agosto, a las 8 de la noche, en el Centro Cívico de Miami Beach.
Remember now, the superstar Billy Graham and Kevin Sullivan facing Billy Jack and Mike Graham. A Florida Championship match. Scott McGee defends the title against the Saint. It'll be Pistol Pez Watley and Bugsy McGraw going up against the Dream and the Texas Outlaw. The one-man gang faces Jim Neidhart. Larry Hamilton goes up against Colonel Buck Robley. The Hollywood Blondes go against Chief Joe Lightfoot and Jesse Barr. It'll be Mike Allen against John King. All of this action Wednesday night. I find it interesting that this group claims that they have no financial connection of any kind or any contractual connection, yet you always see them together.
Gordon, you're always amazed. I don't know why, but you're always amazed at this or that. We've been coming out here telling you week after week that there is no signed contract between Sullivan and I. Kevin Sullivan, for that matter, has never had a manager, and in my opinion, doesn't need a manager. But we are closely associated because we believe in the same thing. We are dedicated to cleaning up the sport of professional wrestling. And when I say cleaning up the sport of professional wrestling, I mean getting rid of guys like Pez Watley.
Right there, Watley. Let me tell you something, Watley. You may run roughshod over a lot of people. You can thank Mike Graham that you're still here today. Because we had your number. And whether it's Lakeland or any other place, Watley, you can guarantee this. Because this man himself, the human python, has traveled to the pyramid, has met with Oz, and Habuddin took me down the Hall of Memories. And when I sat in the Hall of Memories and chewed upon the beetle nut and flashed back to 10 years ago when Mike Graham and I stood together, oh,
his weaknesses came. Mike Graham, I know you better than you know yourself because I live in your heart. It was you that sent me away 10 years ago. It was you that made me go to see Habuddin. It was you that put this on me. So you can bring in Pistol Pez Watley, whoever you want to bring in, Blackjack Mulligan, it doesn't matter. This is the final chapter. This was what wrestling said should never happen. Star, the man that has seen Og himself in the 12th temple with the 16 scorpions, and myself. There is no way Mike Graham and Pez Watley will walk away from us intact.
And another thing about cleaning up professional wrestling, I'm talking about the one-man gang and Bugsy McGraw. The call is in right now in Chicago to my lawyer, Mr. Leibowitz. I'm expecting an answer any time. I'm going to get an injunction against this match. You can take that to the bank.
Nope. I'll guarantee you that match will take place. Saul Leibowitz will not get him out of this one. There's no way. That match is signed, sealed, and delivered. It will take place. Let's go to the ring. Superstar Billy Graham and Kevin Sullivan getting set to move out against Cheap Joe Lightfoot and Mike Allen. Referee Bill Alfonso. One fall, 10-minute time limit, waiting for the bell. There's the lock outside the ring.
You know, Gordon, with Humperdinck talking about cleaning up professional wrestling, I think to clean up professional wrestling, the first ones we'd have to get rid of would be perhaps throw Oliver Humperdinck and this creep show, Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, put a roto-rooter in his mouth. Good move by Allen. They have Sullivan in trouble here. Superstar Graham moved in. Cheap Joe Lightfoot tags up. Cheap Joe Lightfoot counters well. Good chops into the throat of Kevin Sullivan. Lightfoot with a good chop into the throat. Lightfoot in that war dance as Sullivan. Backing away, Lightfoot closes in on him once again. Lightfoot an atomic knee drop on Kevin Sullivan. Into an armbar.
Kevin Sullivan right now has best try and get to his corner and tag out the superstar Billy Graham. With Chief Joe Lightfoot in there, he's a very capable, agile wrestler, and he's tenaciously just hanging on to the left arm of Kevin Sullivan, just putting that pressure on. You know, the Chief Joe Lightfoot is close to his corner, staying well away from the corner of superstar Billy Graham. Looks like we have Blackjack Mulligan coming out here to the desk.
Jordan and Buddy,
Blackjack.
come out here. I want to introduce to you my youngest son, Kendall. What I want to do, I want to get to the root of this problem right now. This young man, my youngest, Barry's little brother, was raised with this girl, Cindy Lou, and maybe I can talk some sense. Maybe he can talk some sense into her. I'll be right back. I'm going to get it.
Now, wait a minute. The match is Superstar Billy Graham in the ring. And Blackjack Mulligan has just taken the arm of the lock. Did he?
What is it? You remember Kendall? You was raised with him. You used to play with him. You used to play with him on the street when you were raised up. Don't you know what these guys? Don't you understand what these creeps are doing to you? Don't you know what they're doing to you?
I only know what my
Master is my tail. The master ain't got nothing to do with it. This young man loves you. Your family loves you. Everybody loves you at home. You can't be passed around like something on the street or something. Can't you see? Can't you see what you're turning into? Let me tell you something. You got to come home to us. We love you. Your family loves you. Come home to us. We love you. You got no business with those people. You got no business with those people. You got no business with those people. Come back to us. Come back to us. She's all mixed up, Gordon. I'm telling you right now, she's hanging around. She's hanging around with a bunch of creeps. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I can't let it end like this. I'm telling you right now.
Tragic situation. Meanwhile, it's the Chief Joe Lightfoot taking some punishment here from Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan down across the abdominal wall of Chief Joe Lightfoot.
Very strange set of circumstances when the lock is reversed. Kevin Sullivan is the master, and Kevin Sullivan right now seems to be quite incensed. He's doing his very best to try and make short work of Chief Joe Lightfoot. Feel what you might about Kevin Sullivan. The man has a lot of wrestling ability. Here's where he might have made a mistake, and Chief Joe Lightfoot, they will turn the table.
Tag is made. Mike Allen moves back to the ring. Kevin Sullivan catches him coming in. Wow, Sullivan caught him. Like a lariat coming off the ropes, and here comes superstar Billy Graham. Double thrust into the throat of Mike Allen. Superstar Billy Graham blasts the full Nelson on him. Chief Joe Lightfoot started to charge in. It was Kevin Sullivan cutting him off at the pass. Superstar Billy Graham. The full Nelson on Mike Allen, and the fellow.
Where did you go? Where did Mulligan take her?
I have no answer for that. I have Kevin Sullivan obviously perhaps feeling that maybe he's lost the lock. Well, I don't know whether he has or not, because Sir Oliver Humperdinck was following her out. Blackjack Mulligan followed him out, and the little lady just said that, please, the only word I heard is, please, Jack, my head is hurting. So what that means, I don't know. Mike Allen being attended to. The victory goes to superstar Billy Graham. A strange set of circumstances surrounding the situation with Blackjack Mulligan introducing his youngest son, and of course the issue with the lock and Kevin Sullivan. But I hope we'll bring you some resolvement of that issue next week here on Championship Wrestling 84. We have another matchup coming in the ring at this time. Should be interesting indeed. The Saint going up against the Breakdancer. One fall with television time remaining.
It seems like Sir Oliver Humperdinck is certainly making himself quite apparent everywhere. It seems Sir Oliver Humperdinck is there. He's now aligned with a strange alignment with Kevin Sullivan. He's taken over management of superstar Billy Graham. He has the Saint. Just like everywhere you turn, Humperdinck is there. The strange thing, too, is that Humperdinck also only manages winners. Once a man ever gets a losing record, it seems like Sir Oliver Humperdinck will get rid of them very quickly. He's very watching intently the Saint somewhere from Latin America. When I asked him earlier if he was in fact, from Cuba, Sir Oliver Humperdinck would only say no comment. So it's unsure exactly where this man is from.
Good fireman carry a couple of moments ago by the Saint. The Breakdancer went into a head scissors. The Saint broke loose. And the Saint down. Those are forearms. Breakdancer smashed into that, but that didn't have much effect, and he turns right around. Drives the Saint all the way across the ring.
You look at the Saint, tell this man is a ring veteran. He's been around wrestling for a long time. Very cautious with his moves, very deliberate, very methodical. See how he's got his full weight of his upper body across the chest of the breakdancer, just making the breakdancer struggle to breathe, harder to breathe, and keeping that entire weight on there. This is a sign of a advanced wrestler, a very well-seasoned professional. You've heard many times before, if you can control a man's head, you can control the body, and that is what the Saint is doing right now.
Well, the Breakdancer will be looking for an escape here in some kind of a counter. He found a way to escape it, that's for sure. Now he gets the counter, the side headlock comes off the rope. Got him with a good shoulder smash. The Breakdancer now moves again, up and over his man. Lariat by the Saint. Count. It looked like a count of three, but there was a delay. The shoulder came up and went back down. Breakdancer hurled outside. The Saint right at after him. Saint bringing him back up. Vertical souffle back into the ring. Only a count of 2. Could not get the 3 count. The breakdancer has made it stern stuff indeed.
All the breakdancers just valiantly hanging on there, trying to get a second win, trying to come back as a Saint. So far, unable to do so effectively. Well, looks like for all these Saints might have made a mistake in the breakdance coming out, but not very effective, not having enough effect. The breakdancer has been worn down too much. He's going to have to get that second win, perhaps roll out of the ring, try and take a 7, 8, or 9 count. Like a big high to the backside souffle. This could be all over for the breakdancer. Once again, he's able to come out. He has a lot of intestinal fortitude.
Breakdancer trading punch for punch now. Rocks the Saint.
Well, there is a drop kick, not getting up too high. And then the Saint very smartly moving out of the way of that drop kick. And the breakdancer going down, landing on the back of his head there from that missed drop kick. There's a neck breaker, and the Saint does apply the neck breaker correctly. It's got to be all over for the breakdancer.
It is indeed. And so the Saint emerges victorious. And Watley has just joined me, and
Well, I just like to say, Gordon, hello. I tell you what, buddy, I'm looking for Lakeland. I'm ready for Lakeland. I'm ready for the black magic. I'm ready for the voodoo. You know me, Gordon. You know me before. And I'm going to tell all these Florida wrestling fans that the Brooklyn man, he ain't loaded. He ain't talking about job. He's talking about getting down. Baby!
all right, there you have it. Pistol Pez Watley, and he is a spirited individual, no question about that. And I think he has let everybody know exactly how he feels. Here's a man who is irrepressible and irresistible, and when he steps into that ring, everybody finds out in a hurry just how dangerous he can be. It was an interesting situation. Pistol Pez Watley and Mike Graham, and I'm not trying to put them together as a team, but it was obvious that there is some close spirits there. I see Blackjack Mulligan coming. Perhaps Blackjack can bring us up to date a little bit.
Well, I just want to tell you this. I don't know what Kevin Sullivan's got on his mind. I think, I know you got to go. I wasn't able to get to her, to reach her, but that young son of mine can reach her, can get to her, and we're going to strike something for humanity right now. We're going to start bringing some of these young people back to the right way of thinking, Gordon. I'm going to tell you something right now, Kevin Sullivan. The demise of your group, the demise, the structure, the foundation is starting to crack. It's starting to fall. And I'll guarantee you we're going to get some of those people back to thinking the right way, Gordon. I thank you very much for the time. Let me come out here.
Anytime, Blackjack. Anytime at all, my friend, because there is a man who does stand for the right things in life. And he has been down the road. He knows what it's all about. And if that young lady, by chance, is listening, pay attention to what the man just told you. And pay attention to what his young son will have to say. This young lady, if you stay with that group, it's obvious what's going to happen. And it's only a downward path. That winds up Championship Wrestling for this week. Until next week, speaking on behalf of Barbara Clary and Buddy Colt, Gordon Soley saying so long.